Ta-da! Hey there guys, this is Andrew with Tech Engineered, and today we are going to be exploring what I use to start this YouTube channel. Now I know this channel isn't big by any means, and I don't really care about the size of it because I just like making the content here. But still, I wanted to share with you guys because some of you might be starting up YouTubers, so I want to kind of give you guys an idea of the equipment that I use to start this channel. So let's get started. So the first thing that you really need to do to start a YouTube channel is have great commentary and great audio. A lot of people think that because it is a video that the visual should be the best, and I mean, with some situations that might be true, but with a video where you are talking to the audience, you really need to make sure that you can do it well. So for that, I use the Blue Yeti microphone, and it works amazingly. It is a pretty cost-effective option, and I would recommend it to any starting out streamer or YouTuber just because it is great. And even if your channel doesn't take off and you end up ending it, it's just kind of a nice tool to have because it serves as a great microphone for voice communications while you're gaming or doing anything on the computer, Skype calls, and impress people whenever you're talking to them. And also it has a great onboard headphone amplifier, so you can get some great sound out of a nice pair of headphones by plugging them into the Blue Yeti microphone. So once you have your audio out of the way, you need a way to get video into your computer. So the way that I did that was I just used a webcam on my computer because that's pretty easy to use. Open Broadcaster software, record the webcam, and then edit that file that it generates. And the webcam that I used to start out this channel was a C615. That camera from Logitech is a pretty good option. I would recommend the C920 over it though, but the C615 is a very good option that shoots 1080p 30 FPS and will kind of get you going. When you pair that with a Yeti microphone, your audio will be nice and your video will be decent, and that is good enough. The Logitech webcams really do a good job with the, what do they call it, the true lighting or whatever. But I would recommend turning that off and manually setting the exposure gain and all of that stuff because you can get a lot better of a picture if you do it all manually. It's kind of the same way with like a DSLR camera like what I'm shooting on right now. If you do things manually, you can get a better picture if you understand it. But if you're not that familiar with photography, I would just leave the auto features turned on the webcam. But keep that in mind that if you do things manually with these webcams, that you can get a better picture from them. The next piece of equipment that I would recommend to starting out YouTubers is kind of a combo pack, getting a square jellyfish phone mount and a tripod. So the tripod that I use is the Amazon Basics tripod, the 60-inch model, and it works amazingly. With a little bit of silicone lubricant, you can make the head pretty darn smooth for pan shots and other things. I didn't really know that at first, and my first videos that I shot on it, the pans were kind of jumpy and stuff. But after that I got them smoothed out. Now it's not a perfect tripod, my pans still are a little jumpy and it is hard for me to get pans that are super buttery smooth, but it is fairly good for a $20 tripod and a $20 cell phone mount. So I would definitely recommend those and get your B-roll shots and stuff shot on your cell phone. So that brings us to our next item, which is the cell phone. So my cell phone can shoot 4K. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it because it is pretty hard to edit 4K, especially starting out, unless you have Adobe Premiere, which I would not recommend starting out. So shoot all your B-roll and stuff on this, even some A-roll. The audio is pretty terrible on a smartphone, so whenever I shot audio on a smartphone, I made it as limited as possible, and I took it into post and I edited it pretty heavily to try and get it to sound as good as possible and remove a lot of the static noise. So, yeah. If you use your smartphone, I would definitely recommend it for B-roll because smartphones do have amazing cameras nowadays. Shoot at 1080p. I would shoot at 30 FPS personally. Maybe your phone can handle 60 FPS, but unless you're doing a lot of like high-speed stuff with your YouTube videos, I would really recommend editing in 30 FPS because the file sizes will be a lot smaller and it will be a lot easier to edit. The next piece of equipment that I used to start this channel and still use to this day is the Filmora video editor from Wondershare. Now, not a lot of people really talk about this editor. Everybody's like, oh, Sony Vegas, Adobe Premiere. Those are expensive, and I still don't want to pay for them. And Wondershare, I know, is kind of a name that kind of turns people away, but it really is a pretty good video editor, and I enjoy using it. It is simple to learn. and it can make some pretty good looking videos, and it's easy to incorporate B-roll into the videos, music and stuff, and kind of tracks a lot like Adobe Premiere does, although just a little bit more simplified. And also they have a great effects store where you can buy new effects for your video and really kind of spruce up your content. However, I don't use those because I like to make my video a little bit simpler and I don't like to apply a lot of effects to it. But you might have a different opinion and you might like using a lot of those effects and getting some cool looking footage. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like on it. If you like the content on this channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you have advice for content that can be made here, go ahead and leave that down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.